Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Yeah, same.
Okay, hello. This is a follow-up to our goal setting or reflection at the end of 2021. Ashley and I talked about different areas in your life that you can set goals. We went through kind of like a guided goal setting. If you want to check it out, you could do that one first. We talked about some areas in our lives that we wanted to set goals, and then let's see. We set like intentions. So we didn't necessarily like get super specific on them because we talked about a whole bunch of different things. And I wanted to get a little more into like each area, how to set SMART goals. And SMART goals are goals that are more specific, goals that are measurable. So we'll actually like look at the year. And for some of them, we'll set like time bound, which is the T at the end of SMART. Something that's achievable and realistic. So something that last time we talked about going outside of your comfort zone or learning new information or anything like that, learning a new habit. And we talked about like the circles of learning a new habit. So if you're in the middle, there's the stuff right outside of you that you can reach to because you already have some of the skills needed to be able to like achieve those things. But then there's also an outer circle of things that maybe you're not quite ready for or you can't implement in your life. If you make your goals too unreachable or too outside of what you will be able to like attain, I suppose, then it will be harder. You're kind of setting yourself up for failure. And I'm also using the book Atomic Habits because we have also been talking about that book. And it kind of talks about the same thing. It talks about how to make sure that, hold on, let me tell you the chapter. The chapter is chapter 16 in Atomic Habits, and it's called How to Stick to Good Habits Every Day. And I feel like the goals and the habits really go hand in hand. A lot of what they were talking about in this book, like you can kind of weave them together, I suppose, or use like the strategies that you learned in this book. So it talks about not only saying you want to do something, you have to talk about your current habit and how you want to track it. And it also talks about saying exactly when you're going to do the habit. So I'll get into that a little more like as I go through the different categories, I guess. But like I have my little paper. I was going to use my computer and like type so I could show you guys my screen, but I'm outside. Can you guys hear me good? I haven't even asked that. Because I'm outside because I said earlier that my brother is here. I just picked him up from the airport earlier. So they're all inside and, you know, like sometimes I don't want to talk in front of everybody inside. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather record it and send it to everybody instead of like do it in front of them live. No, I'm just kidding. So here's my little thing. Can I talk about the categories that we set our intentions for? And then I'm going to go a little bit deeper and I'll talk you through how to go like deeper, choosing a specific time in your day that you're going to do them. And I don't know if you have your book, Ashley, but you can also like help me with this too. I think there's, besides just this one chapter, I know there's another part. It's like an equation and it talks about how to change your habit from like just an intention into like a whole habit because you've included
Turning your intention to an action.
Yeah, can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, let me look for it and then
okay, cool. I'll keep, yeah, perfect. Teamwork, thank you. I was just like, I don't know what we're doing going into this, but I'm here for it. And I was like, once we start talking, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't worry about it. We got this. Okay, so the different areas that we talked about setting goals for, and you don't necessarily have to get so deep in all of them. Like I'm not going to get super deep in every single one because I don't want to set so many goals that it's not something I can do. But I'm definitely going to try to get as deep on as many of them as I can. So it's family, career, spirituality, home. We are thinking like organization of the home or something that you want to do better, financial goal, a mental goal, a social goal. Well, we talked about wanting to like get out in the community more, meet new people in our area, or hold our own events or whatever it is. A business goal. I did career and business separate because I'm also a teacher. So I wanted to set a little something like in the teaching area, and then some goals in my business. a physical goal, and a mental goal. So like I said, we might not go through every single one. I don't know if you guys have that many. You don't have to have that many, or you don't have to have anything written down yet to be able to do this with us. But that was just kind of like our starting point.
So chapter 5, make it obvious. They have a, sorry, my phone's dying a little bit. Hold on.
Okay.
They have a formula which can help you create new habits, right? And basically the first law in Atomic Habits was to make it obvious. You can make your habit obvious. You can make it simple for you to do for a couple of minutes at a day. And that's how you'll start to build your habit, right? So the formula that you can use is I will, and then the behavior that you want to do. I will do my skincare at, if you know the time that you do your skincare, because for me, I do it 2 times. So I'll say, I'm going to do my skincare at 8 a.m. when I brush my teeth in the bathroom. So I'm being specific. I'm setting all of those intentions out there. So that way in my brain, I know, okay, when I wake up at 8 o'clock and I'm going in there to brush my teeth, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and do my skincare. And then I'll be able to get that right out of the way, cha-ching, right? The habit stacking, or that's called basically habit stacking. The strategy in that is to pair a new habit with a current habit. And you can also use the formula after I do brushing my teeth, then I'll do washing my face. So you can switch those habits. The habit you were already doing, which is brushing your teeth, and you're trying to implement the new habit of your skincare routine, you just need to word it with when, where, time, yeah, and what the behavior is. Does that make sense? Is that where you were trying to talk about, Hannah?
Yes, perfect. Thank you. So yeah, that was exactly what I was talking about. Thank you. I didn't have it like pinned, so I forgot, but I knew it was there.
Girl, sometimes the last one that we had too was
Hold on, Ashley, I'm sorry. You said when, where, time, and what was the last one?
the behavior. So the behavior, like what it is, the time, the location, so where, and time was
so
when.
I will blank. So I will blank. So what you want to do? Yeah, I will blank at blank. That's the time. I will behavior at time in blank is location.
Whatever the habit you're trying to do at time, whatever time it is.
Yeah.
In whatever location. Be very specific. If you're already doing something at that time,
I can give some examples because
or I do brushing my teeth or whatever habit you already are doing, then I'm going to go ahead and do this habit. So there's another one that they have a formula of after I, current habit, I will, new habit. So I will behavior at time, in location, after I, current habit, I will, new habit. Does that make sense? Okay.
perfect. So it says like instead of saying just meditation as your intention, which is what we had originally, like I literally had meditation, but instead of just saying meditation, it says I will meditate 1 minute at 7 a.m. in my kitchen. So I'm going to change my meditation one was for my spiritual goal. I said I want to meditate more. So I changed it from I want to just meditate to when I wake up. So I wake up at like, well, my goal is to wake up at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, but 5:30 is my goal. I would like it to be 5 o'clock, but I don't know. We're seeing. Maybe I need to ease myself into it. I'm not sure. Or I just need to like get my shit together, but that's okay. That's another, that's a goal as well. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so instead of just saying that I'm going to meditate, I said when I wake up at 5:30 a.m., I'm going to meditate on the floor in my living room. So that changes my goal from just an intention to like a specific goal. I'm going to write it down. And I'm kind of just like filling in the blanks of what Ashley said. I will blank. I will meditate at 5:30 a.m. on the living room floor. Okay. So for family, I don't know if you set a family goal or if you want to set a family goal, something you want to work towards when it comes to your relationship with your loved one, with your kids, with your just anyone in your life. I consider my good friends my family too. And so I'm kind of like lumping it all together if there's something that I want to do better, like just in regards to that.
So to share on that real quick, because I feel the need to, something that I've been doing, because I feel sometimes guilty, the fact that like I'm doing, like even though my kids are in school and they're working and I'm here working, like making sure the house is clean, making sure that I have dinner ready for them, making sure whatever that looks like to you, right? I then come home, then they come home, right? And we're together. I'm still trying to do like my work and still trying to do my mindset stuff and still try to do the things that I need to do while they're in the same space. So one thing that I had a goal of was to spend more time with them, right? And then I was like, well, how the heck do I do that? So I had to like really look and break it down, like when can I fit more time to just solely be with them? So I've taken it where like I just set a timer now for like I took that a little bit from, I think you posted about it and I think Sam posted about it. Some other people posted about it too, but you just take a timer and set it for 15, 20, 30 minutes and let that be like the time that I need for just myself to do something, or set that time to be like, we're going to play a board game and this is the only time that I have. So once the timer goes off, then mom has to go back to do what she needs to do. So that way, like, A, I'm not feeling like guilty about it, but B, I'm like going towards the goal of spending as much time as I possibly can with them. But I mean, like, I still have to take care of myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that. That was Sam's thing. I got that from her thing too. But also as we go through, it talks about tracking your goals. And like doing that actually is really exactly what it talks about, because by setting a timer and tracking it, you're giving yourself a chance to like reward yourself in a way, because it gives you that satisfaction to know like I actually did put that 30 minutes aside for them or whatever, knowing your day is busy. So like it's important as we go through to set small goals for yourself. So I'm really glad that you brought that up. That's like perfect timing. So for when it comes to meditating, like I need to find a way to track it so that I can give myself the reward that I need when I do it like 4 out of 5 days of the week, or when I do it 7 days of the week, or whatever it is, whatever I decide to set, like how often I want it to be, so that I can reward myself too. And yeah.
Just because I heard this on another call and maybe it can help you. So what somebody was doing was the fact that they were trying to add just journaling in their morning, but their thing was that their main focus was, I need my coffee before I can even journal. Like I need to do that before I do anything.
Yeah.
So she's like, but
Yeah.
do I really? And she's like, so I started to play this trick on my mind where I was going to reward myself for that coffee and make it, I mean, the best coffee ever. And then I was, if I did my journaling, she goes, but if I didn't and I just went straight to the coffee, then it had to be like the worst one ever. Like she had to make it like super like dissatisfying. So that way she would reward herself with like the rewarding of the journaling with an amazing coffee instead of like just black, you know?
What? Stop. That is so good. I love that so much. I do drink coffee first thing in the morning. That's a good one. I love that. Perfect. Just a small thing you can do to like break the chain of it not being so satisfying can actually like really work. And you don't have to do anything different. You're not adding anything in. Us doing this is not asking us to like add a million different little things into our lives and make it crazy for us. We're doing it the smart way by stacking them together. And that's why I like, exactly like she said, I make my coffee right thing first thing in the morning. And so me doing my meditation, and I actually stack stretching and meditation together, because for me when I stretch, like I'm really connecting with my body and it helps me to be present in the meditation. Sometimes I'm really tired in the morning and I just lay there and kind of like half sleep, but that's also good too, right? You're like lucid dreaming or some shit. But
Can you talk about doing a habit while also in motion? Because I remember you talked about like about doing like your biking and like stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's important, especially I just learned this from the perspective of teaching kids, but it's really important to know how long somebody can stay focused, but having action not only involved in learning as a break, but having physical action involved with learning, having kids move their bodies in a certain ways, having them sing a song, having them doing anything. I mean, if you can have kids like literally bouncing in their seats while they're writing and stuff, a lot of times that can be super helpful. You know, thinking that people need to sit still in order to learn is actually not true. You know, that's just an old ideology that it's easier to teach people when they're sitting still and being quiet. And that's like an authoritative mindset. You know what I'm saying? It's an older perspective. So the idea that we can get people up and moving. So for me, what she's saying is that when I listen to personal development or certain music, I just have this thing where when it comes to music, like I can remember listening to a certain song in a certain place. Like I'll hear this song and in my brain for a moment, I'm like, oh, I remember driving down this one street that one time. Like for some reason, music, it's just sound, and music is so important to us, right? It's just in us like as humans. So like when I listen to those kind of things, I like to go on a bike ride. And now I'll think of it like I just feel like I'm more engaged than if I'm just trying to sit still. Because if you're trying to sit still and listen to something, your mind might wander. When you're exercising, you're just like in the moment, you're in your body. It's like a Zen moment. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be crazy exercise. You don't have to go like on a mile bike ride. You can just like literally go walk around. But I think that it's a great thing to do because you can be like, oh no, when I'm listening to my podcast, that's what I'm doing. Or like, no, when I'm exercising and I'm listening to my podcast, like you're stacking those two things together to make it more likely you're going to do it. But also just like, I think that as you do it a few days, you're going to really like it. You're going to get that reward. And I think you're going to understand what I'm talking about when I say that, like, it just gets you in the moment. You're going to start connecting it and remembering it more. I really think so. At least I do. Let me go on to some more. Thanks. Let me go on to some more.
I do like, you know, taking notes and sitting down and reflecting, but like if you're also trying to have, like I said, adding a new habit to just your day-to-day, start small and start with like stuff you're already doing. Like if you're already moving, you're already doing things like that, like that's a great way for you to remember it, and then go and back and reflect. Like you should always be taking time at the end of your day to reflect back on not just what you did for the day, but like what can you take from that and take into your tomorrow and make it even a better tomorrow, if that makes sense, you know? So that's what your habits should be doing, positive habits.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I feel like it stacks on another habit, right? Because if journaling and reflecting are a part of your mindfulness that you're working towards, it's sometimes when you sit down to journal, you're just like staring at a blank page of paper and you like don't know what to write. But when you've been thinking about this, listening to this throughout the day, it's sticking with you. You can sit down and write about how it relates to your own life. And I also feel like you can listen to a million different personal developments or whatever you're listening to podcasts, but if you don't take the time to sit down and reflect on it, writing or not, depending on if writing's your thing, but like it's not going to be as useful as if you actually think about how you can apply it to your life, follow through on it. Like it's all great, but without the action. So yeah, that's kind of like goes back to what we're talking about, goals. I'm going to talk about a lot of different areas, but like you don't want to overload yourself on that too, right? It has to be, we're trying to find ways to fit into our life right now to make it easier on us as we go throughout our days, not adding a million things on our plates. But morning routine is one of my goals. It's always been one of my goals. It's still something that I do try to do as often as I can, but I just feel like this is a really good restart at the beginning of the year. You know, I hate it because I've been trying so hard and I still am not doing it, but I'm not going to give up on it. And I try not to make myself feel bad because I know I have came so far. Like I know I'm still fitting it in throughout my day. If I'm not doing the things that I want to do in the morning, I'm still putting time aside to do it. So I'm not going to be too hard on myself, but it's okay. I'm just admitting that I haven't done it yet, but that's okay. That's why these are goals. So I'm going to change like the whole morning routine. I tell you what I like to do in my morning routine because I wrote it down. So I do wake up. The first thing I do is walk into the kitchen and I make my coffee. I boil water. But while I'm in there, I stack a few things on top of that. So I also get a glass of ice water. And then sometimes I like to drink my collagen and my greens right there. Usually I'll wait, honestly, because my stomach's not quite ready. but stacking the water on top of the coffee is something I'm going to do anyways, because my body's like, you need it. My headache is freaking pounding, but like, it's probably pounding because I need the water. So anyways, on that tangent, sit down, stretch and meditate. Like I said, I like to listen to like a meditation on YouTube, because me just sitting down quiet on my own in silence, you can find some really great ones. I literally type in morning meditation in the morning, how like lazy and last minute, and one will pop up that's amazing. I found a Mel Robbins one this morning that was amazing. So even though I didn't wake up as early as I wanted to, I still did do that, and I felt good coming into this. Then my goal is to read and journal. That's really a big one. It's one that I've been having such a hard time implementing, because in the morning I either don't wake up early enough, or I just want to sit. I'm not ready to take in information, but I really want to take some time to read a little bit, even if I set aside a little bit. I really like the book that we're reading, and I feel like giving myself a page to read in the morning is not something that I'm going to not want to do. And to journal, I would love to journal as I do it, or I can listen to a podcast and journal. But I'm really trying to do that, and then I can get ready for work. So that's my morning routine. So I do have times attached to it. I have tried to like kind of habit stack things together already. I don't know if I need to like really, but is anyone else working on a morning routine? You've already done it, Ashley. You've been working really hard. Oh, Steph.
Yeah, I've definitely been doing like, so going on a walk with Mallory around our neighborhood. We've made the walks like a lot longer. So before we would do like minimal, but now I'm like, okay, let's get it in an hour. So we figured out the perfect route to make it a 1 hour walk. So we do the walk, come back, you know, I'll like either make a smoothie or whatever the case, and then she'll eat her fruits. And then that'll be my time to like take a shower, get my, you know, self-care routine kind of in. So I can make sure that I do that, because honestly, in the beginning, like I would be skipping showers and all the things, like moms know, like sometimes we don't have the time to take like bird baths, you know what I mean? So I was like, no, Steph, I need to prioritize all of that and be able to like, you gotta take, you know, you have to take care of you before you can take care of the kids. So if you're not taking care of yourself, like what do you need to do? So basically I had to make sure that I was doing that. But yeah, that's like the new morning routine. Make sure that we do those hour walks. And for those, that's like I was saying, like 4 to 5 times a week, and then give ourselves some rest for the 2 days. And I'll just walk around our apartment complex for that. And like she'll just walk around, look at the pool, you know, go in the garage, play around, play with the freaking flowers and stuff like that. But don't make it like too crazy every single day. But for sure, I try and make sure that I get that shower in, get my, you know, skincare, all of that stuff in every single morning. But I've been loving putting in, or implementing rather, the walks, because it's been everything, you know, like getting that sunshine, the fresh air, nature, and all that good stuff. Like it's nice. So I was definitely slacking on, and that also kind of intertwines with me wanting to be more active, you know, so getting out, doing the walk, all of that, it just goes hand in hand. 2 birds basically.
Yeah, seriously. I was going to ask you like what other positives you've seen from going out on walks, because I know it kills more than one bird. How's that go?
Yeah, straight up 2 birds, 1 stone, because it's like I get my exercise in, and then at the same time, you know, Mallory's out and about, experiencing more, all that good stuff. So yeah, it's nice, because you know me, I'm really, really a big homebody, but like I don't want to put that on Mallory. Like she needs to experience life and be out there and all that stuff. So I had to kind of like slap myself in the face and be like, Steph, like let's get out there.
Yeah, you guys, we've been doing this for like the whole year, and Steph, like after summer, she went hard. She's been working super hard on a morning routine. Like we've been talking about this, and I admit that I've slacked, but she has not. And I'm sure it wasn't super easy at the beginning, but you've really been killing it. So you're my example on this one for sure.
I love that. Something I want to throw in here real quick is that I've noticed for me, the reason why I was having issues having to start a morning routine was I didn't know what my non-negotiables were. So once I kind of made like what I had to do in a day, like I just made a list, right? I didn't put any time on it. I just made a list of like, what are some things that I got to get done today, right? And so what are my non-negotiables? Once I started doing that, I'm like, all right, cool. Now what's the second thing that was holding me back? Procrastination. So once I realized it was getting a list of things I actually need to get done to make my day, week, month, year productive, I then was like, all right, work on the next step, which was for me being a procrastinator. And that's why I said like just having like a 10-minute, it's funny, I don't know why it works like this, but I'll sit here all day long, and I mentioned it about the dishes. I'll sit here all day long thinking, all right, I gotta do the dishes, I gotta do the dishes, gotta do the dishes, gotta do the dishes. And I'm like, why don't I just go do them? I've spent more time thinking about them than
you
doing
waste
them.
all that energy going back and forth, wasting your energy. Such a waste. Our brains, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel the exact same freaking
And so
way.
now it's funnier. I'll put a timer on for 10 minutes to fold the laundry, and I'm like, oh, I can go do some more. I could do another load. I could fold this all. I can go put it away. I could do this because my timer hasn't even gone off. So you realize like how much time you really waste thinking about doing it than actually just doing it. Bomb.
Literally.
My bad. I was all talking and I'm on mute. But I remember you talking about Dre and the whole closing of the loop situation. So that's like another way that I just, before she talked about closing the loop, it was just like, once I eat, I'm going to the sink, just wash the dish. Normally I would just leave it there, soak it, walk away, be doing all kinds of other things. Like, for what? Just wash the damn dish. Girl. So that's definitely my thing, like closing that loop. As soon as you wake up, lay the bed. As soon as you put that dish in the sink, just wash it. Don't just soak it and leave it. Wash it. What's the point of wasting time? So yeah, I love that. I love the whole thing.
I love that you said that, because that has helped me so much, just staying on top of tasks. Like, one other thing was the laundry. I'm like, at the end of the week, I have 6 loads of laundry. Why not just, when I see it's full, I have a full load already. Why don't I just go do it? So yesterday I was like, oh, it's full. Let me just go do it. Because that's my now thing. If I see it, I'm like, why don't I just do it? I'm asking my own self that question. Why don't I just do it? And if I can't come up with a good enough damn reason, then I have to go do it.
Exactly. And like before, I would even, I get my clothes out of the dryer, I just leave it in the basket, throw it on my bed, like you were talking about, have a whole pile. And then I'm like, fuck, when I go to bed at night, damn, all these freaking clothes on my bed. Like, so it's like, no, you get the clothes out of the dryer, put them away, fold them, keep doing it that way. And it's like, it's so much easier. It makes things so much better. And like, even like now I find for me, my problem is taking it to the washer. That's my least favorite thing. But like folding and hanging and all of that, that's therapeutic to me. I'll throw on some music, put on a TV show or something, and just do it that way. And it's just so much easier. But man, making sure that you just do those things right away, it just makes a huge difference.
Yeah, 100%. I have a home goal too. Well, I close the loop because we've been talking about this.
Yes.
So that helps me to kind of like encompass a few different things that I need to be better at. But the goal of it is, once you start it, to finish it. And it's all right there. It's part of the same thing. It's not like I'm asking me to go do something that is, really hard to do. It's literally right there. It's going to take you a few more minutes. Like, just do it.
Just get it done, ladies.
Just do it. I know. And you know what? You're also really good at that too. So your goals when it comes to that, I have been going uphill with it for a long time. And like, it's time to just let that bad habit go.
Dude. Yeah. But like, yeah, we just have to get rid of those silly habits that hold us back, because it's us. We're our own enemy at the end of the day all the time. Come on.
Yeah, literally. So like, I have loved this book so much, Atomic Habits, that we've been reading, because it also talks about, before it goes into setting new habits, the whole beginning is talking about finding those bad habits, figuring out how to break the chain, but like knowing the science behind why we go through the loops we go through, to be smarter about missions. I don't know if that's the right word. But to just be smarter about the way we go about trying to break those habits. And sometimes it's not even, I mean, it is us, because we're the only ones we have to blame. We're choosing X or Y or Z, but at the same time, there's parts of it that we don't even understand why we're choosing what we're choosing. So we're not setting ourselves up for success, whether it comes to setting our environments up the way we need to set them, or whether it means putting things in the same spot so that when you're in this one spot, you can do 4 things at once instead of, oh, it's across the house, not to walk across the house, I'm going to take this one thing out. Like, you're not setting yourself up. So closing those loops is important so you can be more effective with your time, right? Or efficient with your time.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Both.
That way, you know, like when you're looking at this, you know, you have to also do this and also do that, and you just get it all done at once rather than being like, oh, that's on the other side of the house, I'm gonna do that another time.
Yeah, like I've been forgetting to take my immune support because I've been tucking it in this, the way that I set up everything when I moved around my kitchen. I just like love to rearrange things every few weeks, months, because it just feels fresh to me. But I moved the box with my wellness stuff like more in the corner, and I've been noticing I haven't been reaching for it right away because it's not like right in front of me, eye level. I was just trying to make it look nice, but just being me, I need to kind of rearrange that whole environment. So think about that too, you know, that's important.
Oh, 100%. That goes into also making it attractive in the book Atomic Habits, you know. Yeah. If it doesn't appease you in the aspect of it's not easy, it doesn't look right. Like, I know there are some things for some people who are like, this refrigerator is out of whack, I'm just ordering for the next 2 weeks instead of just taking like their time and going through like what's leftovers, what's like expired, whatever. They're just like, I'm not dealing with that, right? Like, I know
my life.
One thing that I think is really good, like before you go grocery shopping, because that's my main thing. Before you go grocery shopping, like look at your fridge, look at your freezer, see what you need to toss out, see what's been sitting there forever.
Me too.
Your entire fridge, and then that way when you get your groceries, you come back, that's not something you have to deal with. Like, fuck, this fridge is full, this freezer is full. Where do I put this? What do I do with this? With like shit that doesn't need to be there. So yeah, that's definitely another closing of the loop situation. Just like clearing the fridge before.
Something that's also helped is not necessarily meal prepping, but like organizing. Like, okay, I'm gonna need like, what's it called, mise en place, where you get basically everything cut up or all together. And so that way all you have to do is just be like, okay, I need to grab these 4 bags and that's it, and that's going to be my food. Like, if you make it like, if you know certain things are hard for you to do every day, like make it easier for yourself in that aspect too. Like, that's something that's been hard on me, is like, I'm doing this thing right now where I'm doing Dave Ramsey. He's a financial person, like it's like mindset, but like for financing anyways. Something that he's been teaching is called eat from your fridge. Or shop from your fridge. So first what you do is you take a grocery shopping list and you go through your refrigerator and everything, and you write down everything that you have, all the spices, all the leftover meat, all the leftover fruit and vegetables that you have, anything in the freezer, cans, and then you go and you make meals out of it. And then you write, okay, I'm actually missing this, I'm missing that, and then you make grocery list. Yeah, that way you're not like overspending, you're not overbuying, and you're living within like your means.
I love that, because I found myself, I buy and I buy a spice, I'm like, oh, I need this, and I come to I'm like, shit, I already have 2 cinnamons. Like, why did I buy another cinnamon?
That's me all the time with sugar, flour, like those kinds of things. I feel like I always need them in bulk, so I just like every time I go to the store, I grab them, and I'm like, oh, I already had like a 5-pound bag of flour. Why did I grab 2 pounds? Why did I do that?
What's that for?
Exactly.
Miss Mama.
Well, this year of reading more because we're doing our book club, right? Just saying that I want to read one book, little like equation that we got from the book. Like, I will blank at what time in what location. So if I want to read every day, like when and where am I going to read every day? If I know if I'm going to fit it in the morning, then I'm going to say more specifically that like I am going to read after I do my stretching in the morning. Maybe stack it on with the stretching, or if I know that that's not really like realistic, if I'm not going to stick to that because for whatever reason, maybe I have a second one. Like, I know that after I wash my face at night would be a good time for me to sit down. Right when I get into bed at night would be the time that I'm going to read my book. So like, I'm just going to make it a little bit more official by putting a time and a place on it. So yeah, I'm going to write that right now.
I love that.
Yes, I want to share mine real quick because mine is reading too. I wanted to read 25 books this year. Last year I was able to read 10, like complete 10 and like understand them, which the year before that, I was still reading the one book for 3 years.
That is progress.
Yeah.
Period.
So my goal is just to step it up. That's like 2 books a month basically. And I'm already halfway done with one and I'm working on another one. But I started to realize like, oh no, I think I'm overwhelming myself by adding more things. But then I was like, okay, Ashley, take a look and just all you have to do is implement it a little bit in your day. We're not saying do a bunch, you know? So I like had to like calm myself down in that aspect. I'm like, what can you do?
Yeah,
So
like a day, 10 pages a day, make it a little easier.
And I was realizing, I was like, I'm watching so much TV. So I had to like reward myself with TV. So 15 minutes of TV, 15 minutes of reading. Like however much TV I wanted, I had to read.
Yes. I've been doing that myself too, because I found myself binging things.
I love TV.
That's like, okay, we're gonna get all of this stuff done. And I found myself like, by the time it's maybe 4 o'clock, I'm barely turning on the TV. Like even earlier today, I'm like, oh, I'm about to watch a movie. And then I was like, wait, Steph, okay, now let's get some lunch together. Let's do this. Let's do that. I was like, let me go wash my hair. I haven't done that in for freaking ever. All these things. I was like, I have these calls. And then I can reward myself and watch a movie, sit down, relax, unwind. You know what I mean? After I've had like a fulfilled and productive day.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you like, for me, I'm the exact same way, you know, like you want to do the things that feel good, but finding a way to tie in the things you want to already do, maybe with something that you need to be better about actually doing every day. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. There was one that I was ready to talk about. I think that our theme of the year is relate, motivate, and celebrate. I'm so glad that we are like talking about these things, because even if we don't get to every single one, or even if not every single one of them we fully complete in the time that we set for ourselves, talking about it, bringing it to the forefront of our mind, taking the time to reflect on it is going to have a lot of benefit within itself, because it's no longer in your subconscious. It's talked a lot about in this book. It's something that you've been doing on autopilot for a year, for years, possibly, the way that you've been living your life and doing things, and like the little actions that you're doing throughout your day. So I'm glad that we're having this conversation and talking about these things, because they're going to be way more on our mind as we go throughout like our days, you know, rather than just being on autopilot and be like, the first thing I'm going to do when I wake up is do this, because your mind's going to naturally do it. You've been doing it for years. Your mind and your body want to do the exact same thing you've been doing. At first, it might be a little hard, but we're trying to talk now to find ways to make these things easier for us. And, you know, like we want to relate. We're here to motivate each other, to help keep ourselves on track, or celebrate, you know, like give ourselves some time periods where we can check back in. It doesn't have to be every single week, but it can be every single week or whatever. You know, this is low key. We're just like sitting and talking to each other, but talking about like how we're doing on these things as we go. I know that you and I, well, all of us have more than this. I know, like Ashley, you said you've been focusing a lot on financial. I'm trying to focus on financial too. I haven't got like super deep into it and set like a time and a place and all that stuff. I need to like really dive deeper. I want to do something social. I want to go out into the community for one event in my area a month, just to like get out of my comfort zone, meet new people, meet a new place. Like you never know, you try a random thing and you're like, wow, I really love tennis or hiking. Or sometimes you meet friends in random places. Like I'm really trying to get out of my bubble that I've been in, especially like because of COVID the last few years. Like we're still being careful, but I have got so comfortable living
Have you ever been
in my
paddleboarding?
little home.
That's super random. Have you ever been paddleboarding?
I have in
So your friend
Me?
Sarah, the one she was, yeah, your friend Sarah, she was on the call before, and she was talking about paddleboarding and stuff, and just like different things for me to try, because that was something I mentioned in the call, that I wanted to get out and just do more things. And another thing that tied in with another goal of mine was to help over 10,000 people. And I was like, I know that sounds like a big goal, but like, I know I can do it, right? And how can I do that? And then I was like, I could do the two. Like, if I'm helping out, like giving back on my time, then I can like also be meeting people, right? And like learning new things. And I don't know, who knows what comes with things when you just start trying new stuff, right?
Like
Sorry,
in reality,
the paddleboarding clicked me.
I was gonna say, in reality, like we've spent so much time at home online, and I've heard it before, but like the majority of people and connections we can make are offline now. Like we can't rely solely online for meeting everybody for our business and like even our lives, you know what I mean? Especially if we used to be out all the time, we were meeting people all the time. It's different, but like it's time to get back out there. And so setting these goals, like we've said, it's just killing two birds with one stone. You know what I'm saying? So maybe at the beginning of the month, it is the beginning of the month. Maybe when we're sitting down, I know that you probably do too. I sit down with my calendar. I have my like thing with all the days, and I write down the things that I'm doing for the month and the week and whatever. And I think that like spending some time, even if it's something that we do together or just stacking it onto a habit you already have. If you're already doing this at the beginning of the month, like maybe I can really quick on my phone, look in San Jose, find a few events that look cool and like put them in my calendar. And so that it's actually already there. I've already spent some time putting things together. It's not like I'm like, oh God, I have to spend another day sitting down with my calendar. Even though I do like to do it every day, it's kind of like part of my little journaling thing. It makes me feel like in control of my life and I don't forget shit, but you know what I'm saying. So I think I'm going to spend some time to do that too, because I think that'll help me to make sure I follow through if I do it soon rather than later.
Definitely.
Give myself a few options,
totally.
you know? Is there anything else that you wanted to touch on? I'm feeling pretty good about all this. I mean, I'm going to go a little deeper too, and we can set up another time to continue this conversation. I think that I would like to get more specific and talk about like how much time I'm giving myself for each one of these things and like, yeah. Keep going.
I think honestly, this would be a great way to, like, we can keep with the title of course, but maybe like just keep doing this every week, every 2 weeks, whatever everybody feels comfortable with. I like every week. That's cool with me. Just to keep us accountable of our goals and, you know, just touching base. And, you know, the more people that we also have adding into, you know, our team and our groups as we continue throughout this year, I feel like we'll also benefit from a lot of the reflecting that we'll have for ourselves, and also a place for us to kind of be vulnerable too. So I'm game for it. I love what we're doing. So I know.
Yes.
don't get all mushy on me. I get all sensitive then.
Me too. I'll start crying, but I'm like just out of nowhere.
But no, I'm excited because I was looking right now, like,
yes, Steph.
I wanted to do like, you know, because we have the oh, do you want to stop recording? Because is it still recording?
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically that for that. I wanted to talk because it's just kind of us right now. And everybody's in
Hold
the
on.
book